Good morning. This is Ajay Pandita. I run the financial services, fintech, and insurance business for Cognizant. I'm here with me, Ronak from Everest. We're just going to talk about a little bit about what is happening in banking, financial services, and insurance, and why how is market shaking up for 2025. But before I'll hand it over to Ronak for a quick intro for the people who don't know Ronak.
Yeah, again, Ajay, thank you for having me here and also giving the opportunity for me to ask you questions and not just the other way around. So, I'm Ronak Doshi, partner with Everest Group. I lead our global financial services research. And again, I will start because as analysts, we are very curious. So, I wanted to ask you, right? You lead the financial services, fintech, and insurance business unit, right? Could you talk a little bit about what that is and what that it constitutes?
So it's a little, but thank you for first of all coming here, Ronak. This is good to see you here. It's a very diversified portfolio what we have created. It covers all the card networks, fintechs, payment networks, lending, and we have kept the financial services and insurance for Canada as a one single unit. And very recently, I have taken over all the strategic accounts for insurance for the Americas. So that is what is our that. I think it was specifically created to have more what do you call the specific focus on these industries rather than having that merger and having a one focus on across BFSI, but having a uh, focus on these individual segments. And I'm sure you would have seen in last 2 quarters from the results and all that what it is. We are seeing the results. Customers are happy, so that is where we are.
Yeah, I think customer centricity and understanding what they need and then driving outcomes is what really it's all about. And as I think about customers, right, and talking about customers, given your focus and the industries that you work across, what have been their key priorities and what are you hearing from customers?
So I think if you look into our priorities for last 12 months, or have been literally three priorities. One is the client centricity as the focus, because without clients we are nothing. But I think the if I break that client centricity into multiple parts, the first one is how do I work as a one team with the clients? Because especially in the banking and financial services, there is a difference in the operating model. It's not that every time it is we do go into the full managed services. We need to be agile in our working and all that what we are working with our clients.
Yeah.
It has to be in that extended team with our clients. Working with one team is a very one important thing. And another important thing, Ronak, in last 12 months what we have done is co-located our teams where the clients are. We have, I would say, is we are 97 to 98% of the people, which is our commercial team, including my leadership team, are where your clients are. So no flying in, flying out. Make sure that we are closer to the clients. It is helping because clients are also coming back to offices and all that. It is helping us staying closer to them, understanding what they are doing, walking the floors, and making sure when we build up our solutions, when we go and present our proposals, it is tailored to their needs. It's not over the phone and all that. I think that has been the second priority. And the third one is, which is related, is the domain centric approach. Because if you see that what I said is in our BU, I have got card networks, I have got payments. On the other end, I have insurance and I have lending. So if you see it in, say, for example, Gen AI, what is happening, but it has to be tailored to that specific industry.
Yeah.
So taking a first domain-centric approach for the solutions, I think that's a key differentiator what we are doing. And last but not least is the talent, because that is the forefront of us, and that's probably our biggest strength and all that. How do I retain the talent and all that is the key. And most importantly, if there are any gaps, which we are going to bring it from outside and all that. But I'm really proud of my leadership team. I would say is majority of it has been internally promoted. There were some gaps which we filled it from outside, but I have the most of the talent. Leadership team is in place now. That's really we are proud about our what we have done in the last 12 months.
That's fantastic, right? So focus on customers,
Yes.
being where they are, and then creating solutions and talent which is aligned to their needs and being there available for them, right? Again, that focus and that client centricity definitely speaks about here.
Right. So where do you see that the shift, especially coming back out from COVID?
Yeah.
Do you see there has been any shift on client priorities or anything that how do they do business, or any shift or change you are seeing from market perspective? What's happening today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in the post-COVID environment, we were talking a lot about the pent-up demand for digital and building more resiliency into the business. But after that, we had a bit of a challenging environment where all the focus was around cost and cost takeout. And now I think coming out of that, we have very different demand themes. And as we talk about 2025, our customers are telling us that we want to drive change and we want to drive that change at speed. So the velocity of change is becoming very critical. And as we do that, we want to be able to drive better resiliency. So resiliency is still important and cost is still important. So driving speed of change but while maintaining the cost and resiliency is the core of what we are hearing. And as you do that, what it becomes important is I'm driving these transformation initiatives. I want my different silos that have been created over a period of time, be it my operations, my technology, my data, and other teams, all of them come together aligned to shared OKRs or objectives and key results. So instead of each of them thinking about their own KPIs and metrics, all of them are coming together to this shared alignment and they're all moving towards a common goal. And as you move towards the common goal, which is like a target state vision, but a moving target state vision, right? Because if I think about it today, 3 years back, if a target state vision was crafted, it wouldn't have generative AI in it, but today it would absolutely have. So, how do you have that target state vision where everybody is aligned and driving that change is becoming very critical? And for that, they need a partner who can bring the right talent, the right solutions, the right domain expertise, and the ecosystem together to help them in that journey.
Got it. No, Ronak, that is thank you. I think that's a thing from market because I personally, and as we are going and meeting the clients and all that, I see a lot of things are coming up which clients have not done in last 2 3 years or not. That whether it is from transformation, whether it is legacy or technology transformation, I see it. But I just good to see your perspective under what is happening here in the market. Thank you.
Yeah. No, again, thank you. I think it's good that the thoughts resonate out here and what we are seeing in the market. I wanted to make you reflect on the journey so far, right? Because as you look at this is a young business BU, right, business unit, and you are driving a lot of customer focus as we spoke about. As you reflect on the last 12 months, 18 months, what have been your key takeaways and the key achievements that has happened along the way?
Yeah. I think, as you said, is because we started as a fresh, as a young business unit and all that. I think the first and foremost thing where I spent energy and effort initially was making sure we have the right leaders at the right places and all that. I think 12 months, it's been 4 quarters. I think we have got all the places where the people have to be. As I mentioned earlier, we have promoted the people internally, and there were some gaps and all that, but majority of them are internal talent who have moved into the leadership role. And there are some people which we found the gaps, and we are open. We are going into the market and picking up the right talent, and I'm really proud about what we have got inside. And it's a very well balanced team right now. That is one. And the second thing is which we have put a focus, which I'm sure you'll know that building the partnership with our partners, whether it is hyperscalers, whether it is industry leaders, or whether it is partners like Everest and all that. We put a lot of effort from our side building that partnership. One is what we cannot do everything on our own. We want to rely on partners on that specialization and building the domain centric approach, which I was telling earlier, and the solutions on that, where we are partnering with our partners and all that. I think our partnership is really, really strong right now. And the third thing is which is on investing on our solutions and accelerators. How do I differentiate ourselves in the market? I think in today's market, if you go to a client, say, hey, I'm offering a services anybody can do. There is key thing is going to be if I'm in lending, going to a lending customer, what is my solution? What are my accelerators which are different than anybody else? I think that is what. So we are doing a lot of investment from our side. As an organization, we are doing a lot of investment, but as a BU, we are doing a lot of investment in our accelerators and differentiators.
Oh, that's powerful. So focus on partners, as you mentioned, bringing a lot more domain as well as solutions and accelerators, and then bulking up the leadership team so that you can go after and support clients and all their needs. I think this is fantastic achievement over the last 4 quarters.
Perfect. Thank you. So moving on to the next, I know that there is a lot more buzz in today in market going on. Is BFSI back? Not only from service providers perspective, but more on industry perspective. Is the spend opening up and all that? I will tell you what we are doing and how we are gearing up from our perspective for future and all that. But I would like to hear from you that what do you see that overall BFSI market perspective, where is it now, and what do you see for next 12 months at least?
Yeah, I would say one, there is a appreciation of the economic recovery that is on the anvil. So that is where folks are thinking about strategically planning a lot more larger operational expenditure increase, but at the same time thinking about putting large investments on transformation and modernization. So that makes us a little bit more hopeful in terms of the services industry showing a better path of recovery in terms of growth. And the other piece is they are looking at building capabilities in a global delivery model where they also own and operate parts of it. So there is focus around wanting to build their own global capability centers or GICs or GCCs and scale them, right? So, and that's a great opportunity for Cognizant
Yes.
and your peers, which is how do you help clients set these up, scale these up, transform them. So that definitely is something that we are seeing. In addition to that, there's a lot of movement around AI, but the first pace around that is what processes, how do we drive change within that, what data do we need, and how do we enable the infrastructure and people and process, and then bring AI into it. So a lot of conversations around AI readiness or AI enablement is what we are seeing right now. And last but not the least, folks do expect a regulatory environment to be continuously evolving. If I look at just from a US perspective, and if I look at fintech and financial services, we have the CFPB 1033 open banking regulation. The US market, we have almost, I was seeing 1,100 institutions will have to get through the regulation over the next 5 or 6 years by 2030, right? It's a lot of work that needs to happen. So absolutely a lot of activity across getting ready from a modernization transformation perspective, wanting to kind of build new products, new experiences, build new capabilities from a GICs or GCCs perspective, and then work around the regulations. I think those are the major themes that we are seeing with our clients as they think about 2025 and beyond.
Oh, that's good to hear. I will tell you that exactly what we are seeing it and all that. I think definitely, I'm not sure you didn't mention about the consolidation part of it. I think that is still top of the agenda for many careers and all that we are involved in. I think it's primarily on the cost takeout, and many one of the the financial institutions have done a lot, but some have done very little in terms of the run transformation and all that. So how does that consolidation plus the run transformation? Because I think what I have personally seen, Ronak, is the dollars which are coming into the savings. Earlier, it used to be going into the CFO's thing and all that, what I'm going to save. But I'm more and more seeing that dollars are getting shifted into the transformation initiatives and all that. So whether it is a tech transformation, whether it is on the fraud, whether it is on the compliance, regulatory, which is on the financial institutions on the high. And I'm just wanted to mention, even we have seen a lot of the transformation which insurance carriers are picking up, both on tech side and on the legacy side also.
Yeah.
Whether it is reducing the complexity what they have and reducing the cost what they are taking it and all that, and we see a lot that is happening. And obviously the Gen AI is going to be the disruptor. It is continuing the disruptor. But I have a question for you on the Gen AI. What I am seeing on Gen AI is still probably a lot more work has to go into when it will actually start impacting the business element of it, because there is still a lot of work which is, as you know, like say for example, we are doing a lot within Cognizant, and many careers are doing like say workforce productivity and what we are doing. Do you see anything or how quickly we can shift it into that business part where we are going to make let's say for example for an insurance carrier, how are they going to do the product rollout, how is the products the spread going to be, which market? Do you think there is a still some way or some impact Gen AI can do it in that space?
So I would agree with the fact that a lot of the AI right now is more focused on AI for efficiency and productivity.
Yes.
The AI for growth and the AI for experience is what is the dream, is where we want to go. I think starting to make some initial strides in that. I would say specifically in the customer experience contact center, and you mentioned the insurance use cases, specifically around claims. That's where we're starting to see good uptick in terms of adoption, innovation that is happening. Core business, right, where we need to do underwriting, we're thinking about product development, working with the agents and customer onboarding and those pieces. I think those are areas where you don't just need language skills, but you also need a lot more beyond the large language models, right? Because you need understanding of the domain, the context, the product, the regulations, and also you need to train these models to be able to understand that and then work. So you just don't need language models, but you need action models or agents that can learn and do the activity. And that is where I'm excited about this concept of agentic AI,
Got it.
which is about learning the task, learning the context because it has language skills, and it can also communicate with other agents and get the work done. I think those are the areas where process automation could happen, like an end-to-end workflow automation, and you could basically keep evolving it because it has learning capabilities within that. So I think that is where we have more aspiration of kind of, this touching the core or touching the business or from a growth perspective. I think right now all the value you're getting is, okay, let me help drive automation of test case generations, or helping me drive developer productivity, or helping me reduce the average handle time of call centers. I think that's where we are focusing right now, because those are very core use cases. You're saving money and productivity, and the savings out of that can then, as you said, could get invested into the business.
Got it. See, one thing which you mentioned about the GCCs and all that, we are seeing a lot of, I think I'm sure it's the public news and all that, since 18 months back and today, like what used to be in, like specifically in India, 150 GCCs, it's already cost 350. So a lot and lot more clients are coming to us. And as you mentioned, it's an opportunity. We are actually already in discussion with many clients, helping them establishing the GCCs back in India, or,
Yeah.
we have someone was in Mexico also, helping them what it is, giving them the services what we have, lending them the services. I think it has been a phenomenal story here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we believe this is a strong wave of clients saying we want to own our transformational agenda, we want to build the capabilities, and a lot of that is co-building with the supplier of their choice and doing it in a more strategic manner. So absolutely.
Perfect. Ronak, once again, thank you for coming or anything. In the end, you wanted to say anything for, wrapping up comments or anything?
Yeah, I would say wrapping up comments, as we look for 2025, we do expect the market to pick up the transformation wave. And I think there's a lot of opportunity out here. And I wish you and the entire team, all the best and best of luck in terms of the journey ahead.
Perfect. Thank you, Ronak. No, I will tell you on behalf of Cognizant, which is really for me personally and for Cognizant is good, is we really take pride in being a small, big company, which is that agility is what is in us. I think we are really adopting to the client changes and the demands or the changing environment it is. We will look forward to the partnership with you and Everest and all that partners like you. But I think I also feel that it is an exciting time to be in BFSI, but looking forward to more conversations.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Thanks a lot. Yeah, thank you.